Wow, the game looks so crisp. For context, I typically play on lower graphic settings because even though I've got a newer phone, this game heats my phone up something vicious, and then it starts lagging and stuff like that. But I put it back to high quality for the video. So speaking of the video, today's video is a guide on Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duel, and we're gonna, not really a guide, we're gonna talk about things you need to know as a new player in the game. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more content, as well as clicking that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. And if when you finish this video it was helpful for you, please remember to hit that thumbs up. It does help out greatly on the channel. So if you guys want to see another video where I talk about all of the ace monsters, because the game presents you with about a dozen ace monsters you could choose from or whatever, and they all have different things that are good about them, good and bad things. So if you want to see a video going over that, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Say, yeah, DFree, do the video, and that'll be how I do the barometer. So if you want to see it, you got to leave the comment. You have to let me know. Okay, so a minute in, we have a video where we're going to talk about, like I said, the things you need to know about the game. So starting off, if you've made it to this point, I'm sure you already know how to play the game because you would have went through a tutorial. I believe you can skip it, but just, I mean, it's a new game. Probably just do it once, at least, right? And if you are here without knowing how to play the game, you want to go look up some gameplay to decide if the game is even for you, because it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! It is, but it's not. You know, it's like the IP, but on a different game. It's very similar to like something different, like Nightmare Troubadour, I believe, or like Duelists of the Roses. Some of those older games that play nothing like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's what you need to do. Now, the most important thing in the entirety of this game is the monsters. And obviously, this is a gacha game. Now, I will warn you, if you don't love it, the fact that this game has 2 different currencies, okay? So there is going to be paid-only stuff. This game has it as well. So if you hate that in games, I'm sorry, this game might not be for you. The most important thing is the game of the monsters. Okay, so if we take a look at the cards, the reason why is because, for the record, there are a lot of monsters, some of which I clearly don't have, but there are also spells and traps, and some of them are very similar effects to what they do in the card game, but some of them are just completely reworked to work in the confines of the game. But the monsters are the most important because you notice they're the only one with a customization option. Now, you need to, when you decide on your ace monster, I would recommend leaning heavily into building our deck around that ace monster. The reason why is because when I explain this to you, you'll understand why it could be very difficult to go wide with your catalog, your roster, and try to build a bunch of monsters, right? You want to really emphasize one deck that'll carry you through, because basically whatever deck you build, there's not a mode it wouldn't be good in, basically. If it's a good deck, at least, obviously. It'd be good in every single mode. We're going to cover the modes in a minute, but you really need to lean in, because when you look at these monsters, you'll understand. So these monsters all have grids. Now, the grids are here to give your monster skills. You might have noticed that even Red Dragon Archfiend here, all the monsters are just normal monsters. There's not synchro, there's no like blue border for Link or whatever it is. Blue's for Link, right? Anyways, I haven't played the official card game since synchros were the main ace. Anyways, you don't see any of that here. So the monsters are all normal until you give them these skills, and they're going to be different. They're going to be stuff like this, as you see: gain attack when summoned, very basic. Can get a couple of those. There's a defense one, but then there are other skills like this one here. When battling an opponent's monster, change it to defense position. This is actually really good on Red Dragon, and the reason why is because he has a special skill. So special skills are only going to be on SR rarity and above. They're typically going to be very powerful effects. His is definitely powerful. At the end of the battle phase, if this monster was summoned this turn, destroy all defense position monsters. Actually, you know what? This one's good because it'll let him hit those monsters that are kind of glass cannons defensively. But really, if you think about it, he would have either destroyed him or he wouldn't be on the board anymore to proc this effect. Anyways, UR monsters will also have a master skill. Now, the master skill is going to be the special skill, but way better. Here's an example. So you remember on this guy's special skill, there was a stipulation. At the end of the battle phase, if this monster was summoned this turn, then you destroy all that stuff. So if we take a look here, at the end of the battle phase, destroy all defense monsters. That condition isn't there anymore. The other one is just a one-time thing. This is a every single turn he's out there, destroy all. And just on the context of this character specifically, this is very powerful because it would apply to the 3 other players you're playing against, which leads me to the point that we'll talk about in a minute. This is generally going to be you know, free-for-all, 4-player matches. You know, you can do tag duels, but that's PvE mainly. It might be available in, like, you know, friend duels or whatever, where you link up and you put in the code, you know, stuff like that. Maybe even in casuals. I don't know. I haven't played casuals, but it's mainly for PvE content. Ranked matches are all free-for-all, each player on their own 4-player duels. Very, very crazy when you consider it in that context. Now, in order to equip more than one of these, you will need duplicates. Now, it's okay if you don't have a duplicate, because you can actually trade in equal rarity cards. However, you will need, in this case, 4 UR characters or UR monsters to trade in, just to equate to 1 for the Red Dragon Archfiend in this case. This is where the bottleneck will truly shine for some players, because what's going to happen is, as you spend more money, obviously you'll have more monsters to be able to feed into other monsters, and it just, you know, it kind of keeps going. Master Duel has kind of a similar system, but theirs is way better. Anyways, moving on. So the important thing to know is you unlock these slots here. You can go up to 5. However, and by the way, each monster has something similar. Like, I've only shown the UR monster, but like if I were to go down to our, like, Moki Moki here, he has some stuff here. He doesn't have the special or master skills, but he has different ones here. Really, even monsters of all rarities are good for different reasons. They all do different things. So don't, like, write off Moki Moki and say he's bad, because, like, this skill here is not bad either. Detonated is pretty solid. Anyways, these monsters that are not your ace monster, though, in 4-player ranked matches, there is competitive balance. They can only use the skill 1 slot. So that's it. You can have all 5 of these unlocked, but the only one that's going to be available in 4-player ranked matches is the first one. However, your ace monster, I believe, can equip up to 3 and use 3. So your ace monster, remember I said you really want to lean in heavy, put as many dupes as possible as you can, and really power up your ace monster, because they are very, very important. And they start off in your hand. They're very good. I'm not really going to cover the gameplay. That's why I said you should learn how to play the game. It's very easy to do, but again, it plays very differently. So yeah, that's it. Now, in terms of spells and traps, they're very supplementary. You can't infuse, like I said, there's no customization for those. Basically, what I found is that the dupes for them I just use for, you know, equal rarity exchanges. Like I said, the R cards, you know, as you go up, apparently it costs a lot more, but, you know, I've just basically exchanged them equal rarity wise. There might be some other usage for them in the future, though. I'm not sure. Anyways, so this is the most important thing in the entire game. Doing this and understanding how to build your deck, right? If you take a look at my favorite monster here, Multi-Strike, there are going to be stipulations where, if we pull him up here, it'll say, for him, let's take a look at his master skill. While in the field, all of your monsters gain extra attack. All of your monsters with 2 or more extra attacks gain the Pierce effect. Pierce is pretty self-explanatory. If you play the card game, you know what that means. Extra attack, however, is an effect where when dealing direct damage, they are going to be gaining extra attack. Now, that attack doesn't fall off at the end of the battle or battle phase, or whatever. They can keep it. So each turn they would get more. He gives it to them if they don't have it innately, which is really powerful in a setting where, like I said, your monsters can only have 1 skill. However, if they have 2, which means they would have had it already, like there would be a monster that already literally had it equipped on them, he would give them piercing, which is also incredibly crazy, right? So you could really see how, like, strategizing is very important, as you would imagine, in a competitive game, right? So once you understand that, you got your deck built. Obviously, you probably don't have dupes and all that stuff in. The next step for you is to move on, and these are all the modes, right? We have tag, ranked, raid, and room matches, which I haven't played. So like I said, I just assume this is just, you know, you find a friend and link with them. Let's just confirm so I'm not wrong. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then we also have event matches. Event matches are not available currently. I'm not sure if those will be PvE based or PvP based or similar to raids. I don't know. But you want to go over here and go to the Tag Duel section. And the reason why you want to come to Tag Duel, I think, first before you jump into rank, is so you completely, like, you might know how to play the game, but it's going to take you a little bit to get used to the flow of the battle. This is a good place to do that. Also, if you come here, you're going to get more rewards to help power up your characters, which your monsters. I'm going to call them characters because it's just easier for me. Your monsters. And then also, progressively, you play this, it gets easier for you to continue to grind this. So you unlock autoplay, which, for the record, as you would probably imagine, the autoplay AI is not good whatsoever, but it can help you out in a pinch if you need to just kind of get this stuff done. Also, you unlock 2x speed. Both auto and 2x speed are only for PvE content, by the way. They're not available to you even in raids or anything like that. You can also unlock more energy, so you can just kind of keep playing this. And again, you get more rewards. You see the next one I'm going to get is 50 gems. You definitely want those, as you see, for the gacha. Also, These, I didn't kind of talk about it, but PvE content is just really this. Now, I assume it'll evolve in the future, but this is literally all there is. Yugioh and Kaiba in 3 different levels. Each arc, they're all represented here. They all have something similar. Like if I were to go over here, I think it's Jaden and Chaz. If I come to GX, you want to go to GX? There it is. Yeah, so like, I assume in the future it'll be like, you know, for the other one to be Joey and Mai or something like that with different levels. I assume they're going to expand on it, but you want to still play it. And each one of these does have their own overall like little grid system here where you can get the rewards. And you also unlock characters to be your tag partners, things like that. We're going to talk a little bit about tag partners in a second. Now, ranked matches is something you're going to have to dabble in just because it's also a daily mission, which I didn't really say this, but this should go without explaining, because this really is how all mobile games are. Complete all your daily objectives and all your, you know, your missions here. Like complete this. Like I need to complete that top one. 500 is a lot. Complete as much of this stuff as possible every day. That's it really is what it is. So outside of that, ranked duels you're gonna have to dabble in. The way ranked duels work is they've got this battle reward system. Depending on where you rank, you're going to go, well, the placement between the 4 different players, I should say, first, second, third, and fourth. There are some tie scenarios, things like that, but nonetheless, depending on where you finish, you're going to get rewards here. Now, you'll get these rewards once the overall box is filled here. You see 75 out of 100, 78, 49. Once these boxes fill, you go ahead and keep going. I don't believe there's an upper limit to how many rewards you can get in a day. So if you're just like smashing PvP, you should be able to keep getting these. Maybe you can only get like 10 a day or something, I don't know. But you should be able to just grind there consistently. And as you see, the rewards do get pretty nice, right? You're going to need all those spheres and stuff to power up your monsters to just make your decks better and obviously make your PvE life a lot better and easier. Also, we have raids. Raids are fun. This is 4 versus a boss. You see there are all these Monarch characters as bosses. Cool to see. Raids will have different levels and grades and offer different rewards as you go ahead and proceed. Man, imagine being at raid level 150. My goodness. To be fair, I hardly play this mode, and when I do, I play it on low difficulty, but it is what it is. You also, again, get all the rewards similar to the other areas you would get. So you see that, like, some of these spheres and stuff, they're all available, the materials, in different, areas. Now, monsters, when it comes to them, are going to have raid-specific skills. Make sure that when you get around to it, when you get the chance, you're going to start getting those raid skills and equipping them. Now, I think this is something, you have to do this on a daily basis as well, by the way, but I don't think this really matters a ton until you start getting above rank 10, where you start getting more, it starts taking a lot longer to complete the boss. You're going to want all the different effects like healing and extra shield damage, etc. But raids are important though, nonetheless. And that's all we really have currently. Again, I can't really speak about event matches. Now let's talk about the partner. The partner is largely irrelevant, I'll say, in like everything that's not tag duels. Maybe they'll be relevant in events, but like everything available outside of tag duels, they're irrelevant. And the reason why is because they don't do anything, but they're basically your hype man. If you take a look at what happens here, you do get rewards for building up your friendship with them. As you see, there's a lot kind of here. I think this was a deck, yeah, level 1 deck, etc. I've generally just been giving him my own deck. I don't know if when you unlock the deck you get the cards. Obviously not, actually, because I don't have Dark Magician. Things like that. So you get other rewards though. Like this is card sleeves with Yugioh on it. Cool. You can also listen to some voices and stuff. The voices are off for my settings apparently. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. There's not really like incentive, like you're not getting any crazy like stat boosts or some like other games do stuff like that. That's pretty much it. It's just more ways to get rewards and stuff. And as you go ahead and proceed, you see how there's empty space. They're obviously going to add more characters in the future, like I was mentioning a moment ago, to those PvE stages, because all this empty space is here. Apparently I never unlocked Chaz, but they do try to make you have a little dialogue with the characters and, you know, grow to understand the characters. And like I said, they're cool to have. It's just, it almost feels like it's the main selling point of the game when you first started off, and then they walk you through that and they say, oh, Kaiba's your partner, but it really isn't that big of a deal. But nonetheless, though, you can also give them decks. They don't have to use their own decks. You can give them a deck you want whenever you select the mode. Like if I were to go to tag, and we go to the bottom corner, you see it says right there, you can just kind of give your partner whatever deck you want, right? So that's nice. And again, more rewards. And the better, I would like to think, I don't know this for sure, I would like to think the higher level on them would make the AI smarter, but I don't want to give this game that much credit. I don't think that's where that's going yet. Anyways, because like the AI is dumb because it'll do things like activate spells as soon as they're in your hand, and it's like, dude, there's no reason for you to use this spell when it's not going to do anything, right? Like they'll use like Fairy Meteor Crush, and it's like you're not going to hit anybody right now to pierce. Like I don't understand. Anyways, so that is literally the general gist of this game. It's a very, very simple, straightforward game as it currently stands. There's not really a lot to it. So like I said, to kind of recap, the first thing you want to do is understand the core mechanics of the gameplay, and then from there, just like any other gacha game, you're gonna want to hard invest. If you're a budget or free player, it's really hard to go wide on your roster unless you're spending money. But if you're a budget or free player, you're going to want to hard invest in one team for the most part. And as you do that, or one, like I feel weird saying these terms because it's not really the correct Yu-Gi-Oh terminology, but just this game makes me feel like that, like it's a team or whatever. But your deck, you want to hard invest in one deck and go from there. Outside of that, what's going to wind up happening is you're going to want to move that deck, obviously, to the other modes. Raids are going to be very easy for you to play, is because other players can really carry you, especially early on if you don't have some of those raid skills, but eventually you're going to want to strive to put those raid skills on. Now, if you don't have certain cards, there is a trade card system here. This is showing all the cards I don't have. Forewarning, I don't know if in the future they'll add, because we haven't actually had a new banner release yet. I don't know if in the future, like, say, like, I don't know, like, some monster, I don't know, whatever. Exodia's in the game, I was going to say him, but say some monster comes out, I don't know if they'll add him here. And that, if they do, that would be nice, because what that would mean is there's always a way to guarantee yourself the character, right? So I just kind of don't think that'll happen. I think it'll just stay more or less as the launch pool, unfortunately, that they'll update like every 6 months or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've seen stuff like this before in the games, but nonetheless, though, you can go there to get the cards you want to get. You do, again, it's a trade system. You do, similar to the duplicates, that would unlock those slots for you. You can see in the bottom corner how many you need. You need 4, basically, of everything. So, of equivalent rarities, basically. So it's not really particularly easy. I apparently don't have 4 SRs. I really need to pick this up. This is a really good card. A flat 1,000 attack increase is like crazy in a game like this. It's so funny because you would think like that card would be really trash for the most part in the TCG, but like in this game, it's actually not bad. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're gonna end things, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more. It was definitely fun to do this, and if you want to see that Ace Monster video like I was mentioning, please be sure to let your boy know. Have an awesome day, guys, and I'll see all of you in the next one. And if there's anything I missed, forgive me. I'm sure we could cover it in a separate video.